Hi everybody, and welcome back to the Stikbot channel. In today's video, we're going to be looking at that Stikbot channel's art rewind. That doesn't sound good when you say it. But regardless, in this video, we'll be going over all of the art I've made, all of the customs I've made, and... Okay, well that's it. In the past year, I plan to be doing this at the end of every year that I make content, and since in 2021, I really didn't make that much art, I'm just going to include those for the sake of it. So without further ado, let's get right into the art. The first artwork that I made, well, this is in 2021 in October, was of Goose dressed as Sans for Halloween. This is the truly iconic artwork that got the iconic That Stikbot channel back into making content and becoming the best Stiktuber of all time. You've seen it, you heard about it, you love it, there's a video on it, and let's move on to the next art. Now, this one, I really have only used it in like thumbnails and in a couple other things, but this is of Goose, the normal Goose that you've always seen. It's very terrible artwork. I did it on my phone, my old phone. I have a new one. And yeah, not much to say about it other than it sucks. Let's move on to the Christmas art. This is Christmas Goose from last year. I didn't make any Christmas art this year because last year's, in my opinion, were good enough just for use. But that is Christmas Goose. And here's Christmas Green Stikbot, also from last year. I love this one so much. And last but 100% not least, we have Christmas Rick. This took a while, I remember. Not the longest it's taken me to draw something. That, I believe, goes to Halloween 2022 Goose. But it was interesting, definitely figuring out how I was going to do the string and the glitter for the translucency. Because as you all know, well, just go watch the Christmas speed paint. Again, I really like this one. I think all the art holds up except for Rick's face isn't how I do it now, which you'll see when I get to Rick's Halloween art. But other than that, that's it for the Christmas art. Now, I'm just going to get the NFTs out of the way. These are a little out of order, but quick story time. For anybody who watched the TikTok compilations, which I don't suggest you actually do, I only upload those out of necessity. In the January one, you'll know that I had a challenge going on. I made a Stikbot NFT every day until I hit 1,000 followers. I did this of the main three boys, Ruben, the monkey Stikbot. Go watch the 10th anniversary video. And I made a template, and then I did Stiktubers for the rest, and then a special one when I actually hit 1K. And man, was that some fun. Honestly, I think it was just a fun thing in the community going around, or at least in my kind of like inner circle. I don't know how to frame it. It wasn't a big thing in the community, but at least it was something going around. And it was really fun seeing other people use my template to make their own NFTs. I remember I was going to make one for Clay and Dus and I think AAM, but they all made their own before I could get to it. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, honestly, these deserve their own video. But for now, let's just go over them one by one. Now, these are in order of which I made them. There was the template, Ruben, Goose, Green Stikbot, Rick, Lego Stikbot, Awesome Animations and More, Apocalypse Films, Epochamations, Sebastian Movie Studios, French Bacon, the 1K one, Stikbot Party, Lucas. I'm gonna be straight up, I do not know his YouTube name, I just know him as Lucas. Stikbot Vlogs, and ICT Films. Now, some of these I made just because, like for certain people in the community, and other people's were requested. Some people requested them before I could make them. Some people made their own, there's a whole thing. But again, it was just something fun I did. Certain things that I'd like to mention are Lego Stikbots, which was really interesting. Definitely doing like the Lego Stikbot monkey looks really goofy. But for the background, I think I looked up like blue comic background or something. I found the exact background he uses in his current PFP. And then for French Bacon, I recreated his PFP with the yellow background and the bacon, and I think I still have that, so I can use it if need be in the future. So that's that, and now let's move on to the rest of the actual normal art. And if you're wondering why the 1K NFT was before some of the others, that's because that was in the order that I made them and not released them. Now, these next two arts were actually made in between the NFTs. That's why I said they were a little out of order. I made the first 5, I made these 2 arts, and then I made the rest of the NFTs and then moved on with my life. The first one is Thief Goose, as I like to call it. Now, there was this trend back, I think, earlier this year in the community when Metopia came out, I think it's the name of the game, where people would put Stiktubers in the game as the characters you could play as. And I remember in LS's campaign, he included me and I was the thief. I'm pretty sure that's the classification of the character I was. And it was also another trend in the community for people to draw their own versions of their characters in other people's Metopias. And it was this whole thing, and I really loved that. Super fun. And I did mine, of course, as a Stikbot. And because of the image that I saw that he like sent in the group chat was so blurry, I like looked up the Metopia thief outfit to get like a better understanding of what it looked like, and I really like it. It just sucks that I never get to use it because of how incredibly specific it is to Metopia. Like I'm never really gonna get to use this sort of thing, but I just think it looks good, and I really like the white stitching throughout. And this is also where the origin of like the scrunched face for Goose and the other Stikbots came from, because of everything going on the headwear. His like eyes and mouth are kind of pushed together, and I really like that look, and that's something that continued on to the rest of the Stikbots, whereas normally in like the Sans PFP the eyes were closer to the top of the head, but now I give the Stikbots like their own like a bit of forehead. That's my best way of describing it. So I love this one a lot. And now let's move on to Suited Goose. This one is another iconic one. This one gets a lot of use. I made this one for fun. It was like an idea I just like had, and I use this all the time. It is the normal Goose outfit with like the red Spider-Man shirt, the jacket, the shorts, and I took the color scheme of that and translated it into a suit, and man, I love it so much. It still holds up, and it gets a lot of use. I remember, I can't remember what video it was. I think it was like a Fall Guys video that John made. He used this as like a talk sprite, and that like led him to use this in the logo he made for me, which I think I'll mention later on. And it's just such an influential piece of artwork. Again, I use it all the time. It's been my PFP. I can't even count. It's so clean, and I love it. And I hope to make many more suited iterations of me and the boys in the near future. Now, these two are the Valentine's geese, I mean. The first one is Valentine's Day Goose. Now, I made this for the month of February leading up to Valentine's Day because I like to have theming with my PFPs. I did that really early on. Anyway, I just like this one with the heart glasses, the jacket, the pants that you would never see me wear in real life. I don't know. I just like it. I think it looks nice. I think it looks pretty nifty. Not much else to say. I don't like the mouth, though. I really don't like the mouth on this one. And then next up, we have the Day of Valentine's Goose. Now, I love this one. This is another PFP that I use very often. It's of, it's of Goose looking very tired and annoyed on Valentine's Day, being alone yet again. I love this one a lot. I just love the look of it. I love the feel of it. Very good, very fun time. I love using it. It's very, very funny. Now, here we have Liam. When LS did like his little he like rebranding thing where he made like he rebranded his second channel to be more about him, I think, and he made his little like avatar of himself, and he named it the creator. I think this is a while ago. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but in honor of that, I drew this good old art of him. This is the first fan art I did of anyone in the community, and the first time I really like attempted to do art, if that makes sense. I definitely could look better, but I really like it. It's him. It's the Lego figure of him, except I made it a Stikbot, a yellow Stikbot, because of course the yellow Lego figure skin, but I gave him white suction cups as an homage to Stikbot from Lego Stikbot. It's like a 1-to-1, the torso of the Lego figure to the torso of the Stikbot. His desk has normal stuff like a lamp, some pencils, and a cup, and Lego and Stikbot there to show that he's the creator, and he has his cup that he also had in his video of him doing the whole new channel thing or whatever. I'm sorry, I do not remember. It was so long ago. I don't even remember my own videos. And the background, I'm pretty sure, is the same as the background he used in the video when he was like in space or whatever. Yeah, I have a tendency to find his backgrounds. So, or maybe it's not. I feel like I had trouble finding it. Again, I can't remember. I really should make videos talking about this stuff when they happen, so I have more stuff to talk about. But that's it for Liam's artwork. Yeah. Now, this next one is the one I did for my birthday. This one is in the same style as the Valentine's Day one of me being like annoyed, where I'm just sitting there in silence, chilling on my birthday. Because I really didn't do anything for my birthday last year. And I don't know, I kind of translated that to there. They both have this style of like being in like the dark with like the shading and the this and the that. And they're all introspective and stuff, and I thought it was cool. So, you know. Moving on. Now, here we have the St. Patrick's Day goose. I did like a poll on Instagram. I was like, should I make a St. Patrick's Day PFP? And people were like, yes! And I took it and rolled with it. And made something quite good looking, in my opinion. I hate the holiday. I think St. Patrick's Day is purely stupid. But at the very least, we got this nice little art that looks very casual. That's a good way to describe it. I am stuttering a lot. It is 4 a.m. And next up, I love this one so much. It is yet another dapper goose. You can never have enough of me looking sexy. But this is my Easter PFP. I did this for Easter. I had this one in mind because I've had a lot of things in mind, like the NFTs and the annoyed one, and this one that are just kind of in my mind that I like to see come to fruition, which is a common thing that's been going on this year, which I'm happy about. And I thought of like muted, almost bright colors that are kind of Eastery, with a vest and a shirt underneath. And man, did I knock it out of the park, if I do say so myself. Quite nice. I absolutely love it. And something I forgot to mention with the St. Patrick's Day PFP is that I increased the line thickness. My lines are a lot thicker now than they used to be when I do art, and that's a trend that has carried on so far, and I quite like it. Now, these next ones are quite a doozy. Here we have the one and only clay film. This is a trend I started doing that I never really finished doing, where I do Stikbot in my own style. He made a video a while ago that I was in, and where his character kills the one that I played after they find out that he's like the spy from TF2, and he like turns into this cool assassin looking guy. I think, again, I don't remember, and it was kind of unclear. Feel free to correct me. So I did him in a suit, again, like the spy. That was kind of what I kind of went off of. So I took his normal design that he has, is like Stikbot in all of his videos. I took the mask, I added the hair, because apparently that tape is hair. I'm really not sure. And I gave him a suit, and I made him quite dapper, if I do say so myself. I do like my dapper bots. And yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And then for the like assassin clay, it's also based off of the video, the animation, which, yeah, go watch it. And I like this one a lot. Tried to translate it as well as I could, with like the gray and the circle mask. Turns out the mask is actually a face, but I didn't see that at first, and I thought that the circle looked better, so I just rolled with it. And I put that together to make this cute little quirky poster for clay. I'm not gonna cut that out, but I regret saying it. And yeah, I hope you liked it. Yeah, moving on. Yeah, I know, it's my face, what a shocker, but this video is shaping out to be another Stikbot advent calendar. It's gonna be half an hour long. Nobody watches these videos. Why do I even bother? I don't want to finish it, but I'm going to anyway. I have to finish it. I've gotta. Let's do it. Whoa, it was me, but real. Anyway, moving on. This is like a long gap between this and the last art, I think. But LS was doing a contest on Discord, and the prize was, I believe, Discord Nitro, or something. I can't remember why I did this. And it was an art contest. You drew some art for him, and yeah. Now the thing was, I was maybe gonna enter. I can't remember, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, he asked me to enter, right? Probably because of the other art that I made him. And then I didn't win. I don't know, if I ask somebody to enter my contest, I would let them win. That's me personally. But you know, whatever. Anyway, I'm just joking. I don't really care. But it's him tied to a chair, and then Lego and Stikbot pull up, you know, with the knife and the machete. you know, who knows what they're gonna do with them. And yeah, had a lot of fun with that one. Definitely trying to get like the shading from the light to the floor right was interesting, and I think it turned out pretty good. And one thing I don't like about it is I forgot to fill the white in on the collar of the torso. Pretty much the same as the other one, except it's at a different angle, so I had to recreate it, and it does actually technically look a little different if you compare them. I'm not gonna do it for you. You can do it yourself. But yeah, I wish I filled that in, because now it looks awkward because you can see through it, because it's technically transparent. It's not that noticeable. Honestly, I don't even notice it half the time, but I remember it's there, and it annoys me. Now this is an interesting one. This is the TBOE, what was it, Would You Rather video thumbnail. That channel Everything hit me up, asked me to make the thumbnail for it, so I did, gladly. You know, it was a fun time making it. And yeah, not much to talk about the thumbnail side of things, but the guy in the middle is what I want to talk about. That channel with Everything. He doesn't actually, I don't think, have any fan art from me, so we're gonna just pretend that this is some. Honestly, I'd really debate including it if you really even consider it art, but the guy, like I said, that channel with Everything was interesting because it's really my first time, I think, ever drawing hands. And the worst part is they are at a very goofy angle, so I had a fun time trying to get that right, and I actually think it looked pretty good at the end. If you look at it for too long, they start to look pretty poopy, but at a glance, I think they look pretty nice. And I'm glad he asked me to make that thumbnail. Now here's the real thing that matters. In that thumbnail, as you'll see, the would you rather was, would you rather NFTs or Saul Goodman? He let me pretty much do the thumbnail, whatever I wanted, and that's what I chose. But the thing was, he did not get an NFT from me. I don't remember why, or maybe I planned and just forgot, or I ran out of time because I hit 1K. But yeah, so I had to make an NFT for him for the thumbnail. I hate this so much because I gave him the wrong cord color. I'm normally so good about that. I gave him an orange cord instead of a blue cord by mistake, which sucks because, you know, yellow Stikbots have blue cords. But it's whatever. Nobody cares. But yeah, that's the real importance of the thumbnail. Okay, now thank our Lord and Savior, because these next 5 have a video. They each have videos. Go watch them. I'm not even really gonna talk about them. We have the Halloween 2022 Goose dressed as Mr. E. We have the Halloween 2022 Green Stikbot. Wait, hold on, sorry. Rick dressed as Black Noir from The Boys. We have the Halloween 2022 Green Stikbot dressed as... I forgot. I'm not looking at it right now. Eggman dressed as Eggman. And then we also have the 2021 have PFPs of Green Stikbot as Morty from Rick and Morty, and Rick as Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. Again, yeah, I had to do the extras. Just go watch the speed paint. I'm not even gonna talk about them. If you're here already, chances are you're a hardcore That Stikbot channel fan. I respect you, I love you, and we should meet up sometime, and you've already watched that speed paint, so who cares? The only thing of note to mention is that I started adding backgrounds. Normally the backgrounds are just completely white with these, but now they actually have backgrounds. That's what I'm going to be doing from now on when I do the PFPs. Let's move on. Now here we have my logo, and by logo I mean like it's in the corner of all the videos. You might be able to see it right now depending on what device you're watching it on. I don't think it shows up on TVs, but regardless, this is my logo. It is a very simplified version of Goose. Now, the jacket that Goose is wearing, it actually has a name, it's Jeffrey, is actually a dark gray jacket in real life, and it's always meant to be, but I always had trouble translating that onto the Stikbot because the Stikbot itself is also dark gray. But in this artwork, because the art dark gray is a lot lighter than the real life dark gray, I was able to make the jacket dark gray, and I think it looks way better than if it was black. But one thing is, on Discord, it's essentially the same color. The jacket is the same color as the Discord dark gray. So when I had it as my profile picture, it essentially looked like my head was a lollipop. I don't think I have any screenshots, but if I do, I will not put them on screen because I don't want to edit this anymore. But regardless, that is my logo. I like it a lot. I like the simplistic look. But I want to touch on some of the past logos that I've had. John made me a logo for the gaming channel, kind of, and I kind of like use it as a talk sprite, I think, in some gaming channel videos, maybe. and I know he used it in the We Need to Remake Breaking Bad video as a talk spray for me. And he made it. It was just like, it's the suited version but blacked out and with the crown that I do actually still use for the gaming channel. Which I kept that in the corner for a while on the main channel. And then I also had like an idea of combining the French crown that he gave me for the gaming channel, giving it the purple eyes, trying to get that style down, and making another version. But we talked about it and we kind of just scrapped that and ignored that idea. And then I kind of settled on what we have now, the simplified version of Goose, because I'm not a logo guy. I don't need a logo. I think the gaming channel logo he made me works super well, but for the main channel, I don't really need one. I just have PFPs, and I like that being in the corner, and I just kind of made that for fun. We're almost done. Just a little bit more. And let's go. The last one is another one I don't have to talk about. This was my entry for the Snowbot contest. I made a speed paint. Go watch that. I won. Yippee. Nothing much to say, but let me know. They sent out the thing, and actually I can check the tracking number. Give me a second. And it actually says it should get here today, which I don't believe. It might get here on the 1st or the 2nd, but regardless, that's cool because I actually recorded my review for the other thing they sent me, and I didn't upload it yet because of this video, so I'm pretty stacked with content, and I got a bunch of video ideas in my brain holes, and I'm super excited. And right now, I'm super excited to be done with this video. But while we're here, I also have little individual almost stills of all the characters in the art. We have the Launcher 503, Leo, and Goose without their shading here, looking nice and neat. And now I'm gonna send this over to I would cut this out, but I'm too lazy. We're gonna send it over to Real Life Goose yet again to look at the customs. So now that you've seen all of the art, let's look at my customs from the past year. I didn't think I had too many. There were about 3 actually finished customs that I made, but there were a lot more in between that I didn't think about. So let's just get into that. This year, I started to update Stikbot's design to be more like his final design. When I say final design, I mean a better looking design. It's gonna look the same exact as this, but as you can see here, it looked pretty bad. So I updated it mostly on the chest. I made some TikToks about it, and as you can see, it's still not finished. Something I definitely hope to do in 2023. And I also gave Goose an alternative facial expression, which I'm sure you've seen tons of. I love this because it's more in line with my current style of Stikbot faces, which you'll see later, where this just was not cutting it, and this will definitely get redone. Hopefully, also in 2023, I plan on revamping all 3 of the boys in 2023, which I might make a video on, who knows. But I'll definitely post about it on Instagram and TikTok, which you should follow me, linked in the description as normal. Now, for the 3 people who watched my 10th anniversary special, these are the other customs that were kind of small that I did this year. I regave all of That Stikbot series characters a revamped face. Their old faces just weren't doing it. So for my 10th anniversary, I uploaded me just giving them all better faces, as you can see here. And his hat has some detail now, which definitely look way better than they used to. And as you can see, this face is more in line with what I want, whereas this one is more kind of loosey-goosey, pun intended. And it was just kind of a early attempt at having different Stikbot facial expressions. That's one of the things I did this year. I gave this guy an updated face, only for my channel banner. And I also worked on this custom clickbot for my upcoming series Chronicles, which still needs to get made because I need to buy more clickbots. This is an early version. I definitely plan to be revamping the hair. The hair could look so much better. I don't even know what I was doing. Gave him some basic straps on his wrists and gave him a custom crossbow. Yeah, no, this is more so like an early draft, but it is a custom and it is an original character, so guess we're throwing that in here. Now here are some customs that I started but never got around to finishing, or that I had already started and worked on but still never finished. Classic Sonic. I worked on him. I still need to buy some clay because I just haven't been able to find good, when it comes to customizing, I'm not the best with clay and I don't know the right ones to get. So I could do the head, not to mention I need to add wire to his arms, which I did eventually do. As you can, I hit my light again. As you can see here, I do have a wire in his arms so it can move more freely, but there's some more modifications I want to make, and then I just kind of put him back in the drawer, which isn't the first time that's happened to him. Other than that, we have the zombie from Minecraft. This one is essentially done. I really need to clean up the lines on his shirt and give him some shoes, but the main thing was the hair. Again, no clay. I mean, I need to make the hair. So this guy's on hiatus until I get some clay. Anybody who has good recommendations for air dry clay that customizers use, leave them in the comments because I certainly don't know. I'm on the look for some, but it hasn't been a priority, and I really need to get on that. This is Spidey's homemade suit from Homecoming that got started, and his torso is, all the base coats are pretty much done. I think I just need to clean up the shins, or maybe I already did that, and do the head and the torso and stuff. So that guy got pretty far, but then I never got around to finishing it. I got busy. And this other guy, Venom, got the whole body done. I just need to add the details onto the body, and the head really didn't get far at all. But yeah, those are the unfinished customs. Now moving on to the many Breaking Bad customs that I guess you could say that I made. Here we have Saul Goodman. He is absolutely the least finished out of all of these. I literally just kind of stopped. The whole reason I did this was because of Awesome Animations and More, the worst Stiktuber to ever exist. He went a little crazy, and well, that's the whole story. But he's kind of like a fake Breaking Bad fan who milks it for TikTok views, and I had to show him up, you know. And then here's Jesse Pinkman, who is essentially finished. He's nowhere near up to my standards, but for what it's worth, I consider this a finished custom, for the sake of just beating AAM to making a Jesse custom. Yeah. And now we're gonna go into the other ones that are very bad. Here we have Walter Hartwell White. This custom was made in like an hour, again, to beat Awesome Animations and More. He had started a Walter White custom, and frankly, I just kind of had to be the first person to make a Walter White custom. It's just in my blood. So I beat him to it and made this absolute doo-doo Walter White custom that will be 100% getting revamped in the very near future. And then the other two that I made, these ones were actually just for fun, were Walter Jr. and Hank Schrader from Breaking Bad. These guys aren't finished in the least bit. Hank is actually really close to being finished. I just need to add his belt. Maybe add some more detail to the torso, I'm not sure. Give him his shoes and a custom face, which sounds like a lot, but it really isn't, all things considered. I got all the nitty-gritty down. And I actually worked on it. I used like a new technique of gradient for the pants, which I used actually a lot this year, which I'm really proud of. I used it on Jesse's jeans to make them look more beat up. I used them on the zombie to give him this purplish blue sort of pants that looks really good on camera. Less good in real life, but it still looks good. And then for Walter Jr. and Hank to give them sort of worn out jeans, because, you know, jeans are kind of worn, and the flat colors just weren't doing it for me. But yeah, Walter Jr. isn't anywhere near finished. He still needs a face and a bunch of detail, and I already told you what he needs. Now, what you've all been waiting for, the actual finished customs that I made this year. And here are all of the finished customs that I made in 2022, and yeah, no, just 2022. I thought I made this guy in 2021, but I'm pretty sure I did him in 2022. I'll have to fact check that, picture on screen or whatever. Here they are. They're not in any order or anything, but I'm proud of these guys. I'm proud of all of them. I love them. I love their detail. I love the fact that I made them, and I love the fact that I'm back into making customs. Custom motivation is so weird because of how much time it takes. You have to be really into making it, you know, like Pepsi Man here took me like, what, maybe like 2 days, 3 days, you know, because I just really wanted to. I thought it was funny. Same goes for Spider-Man. The detail was done in like a couple of hours after I finished all the base coats. And yeah. So let's talk about them all in order of when I made them. This guy was made in, I believe, January or February or March? I think February. Just cause this is when I got into doing customs, when I realized I can really do fine details. So things like the eyes and the lines and everything could look a lot better, but it was, if it weren't for this guy, everybody else wouldn't look as good. And I still like him. I still think he holds up. And I'm probably not gonna redo him. I think he looks good. Now, next up on the list is classic Eggman. And sorry, these guys are really dusty. They sit in the open, and my room is really dusty. I made this guy in, I think, April? I have no clue. I'm gonna stop with the dates. And he got a custom showcase. I really need to make custom showcases again. They're really easy to make, and I don't get why I don't do more. Again, and the face is still there. I forgot about that. I just love all the detail I managed to cram in here, how clean the lines and things like that look, especially considering how simplistic of design he has. So I love this custom to death. You know, I love these all. Honestly, they're all super cool. At least I think. Stand. Next up, I made Pepsi Man, who had his own animation. Go watch that. I remember I was like on Cold Clay, and I'm like, I think I said that if I had like a silver Stikbot, I'd make Pepsi Man or something. Or I just remember like I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna make Pepsi Man because I have a silver Stikbot. So I did that, and it was actually pretty easy. It was a lot of fun though. Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary for my customs. I think it's just funny, minimal detail, but man, that Pepsi logo and getting these lines to be as even as they are, especially the paint on the head, looks so like smooth, and the lines aren't as noticeable. I think I just really like that. And last, but absolutely not least, my pride and joy. Well, these are all my prides and joys. Gustavo Fring from Breaking Bad, which set a new precedent for my customs. I'm gonna zoom out here because I feel like I'm kind of cramped. I love this. I remember I was literally like, when I finished him, I think I was like watching Attack on Titan, about to go on a trip, or maybe about to go to school after an all-nighter or something. I can't remember. Oh wait, I think I made him in the summer, so I think it was before a trip. You know, there's actually a lot of stuff behind this guy that I'm just gonna save for the custom showcase. But regardless, the detail I think I did really well, and I'm excited to work with this style of custom. You know, the way I do the shoes, the subtle 3D of it, and you can barely tell the soles and stuff. Getting those lines even was such a pain. You know, the face, how I added like the wrinkles and stuff to try and make it more realistic. Again, could definitely 100% without a doubt look better, but I cannot wait to improve upon this new technique that you really just never see Stikbot customizers use when it comes to faces. They normally leave them like normal Stikbot faces or paint over it to look like a Stikbot face, and I'm glad to have done this like Giancarlo Esposito-esque expression to match how Gus acts when he's at Los Pollos Hermanos. So, very cool, very awesome. I love this custom, and I love all those customs that I just kind of put all over the place. You know, anytime I see like a LEGO customizer kind of just manhandle their highly detailed customs, and then I do the same exact thing, and then I'm like, oh yeah. That's one thing about us, we're all the same. And I might as well mention this, even though it is that Stikbot channel. Lego Goose. I also made a Lego version of Goose. Although they're not apt one-to-one by any means. He is more so based off of the artwork I did of Lego Goose. Very simple, took me a very short time. I was organizing Lego and I got inspired. I love this guy a lot. I have some video ideas for him. And you know what, I forgot about him too. Nutcracker Goose. I didn't get to make a video. I should make a custom showcase on him. That's a really good idea. I obviously in the Nutcracker animation, my Christmas special. I'm gonna make a video about him. I'm deciding here and now because there's a story behind him. But regardless, this is him in the wooden flesh. So yeah, this was extremely drawn on, and I am very sorry. My current recording is 11 minutes, and I hope to edit that down to maybe 7, but you know, that probably won't happen. So, back to Future Goose, because technically I haven't even recorded the artwork segment. I just know that this will be happening later on in the video than the artwork. Oh man, did I not realize the pain I was about to endure when I recorded that. But I'm just kidding. I know I complained a lot because I am a little tired, but I had every intention of staying up late. And I had actually a lot of fun editing, even though at certain points it was kind of annoying. And I was actually able to edit down that segment a good bit. We'll post some of the cut content on Instagram, which you should go check out. Thank you for watching The Rewind. This year was truly amazing. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I had so much fun in the community. I had so much fun being back. I had so much fun with Stikbots yet again, and I cannot wait for another year. I'm just really excited. My favorite part was 100% seeing how my art style evolved, starting off with the very terrible art with sands and the art of myself, and then seeing it evolve, get better, adding the thicker lines, adding some shading, and then, you know, being the final art of the Launcher 503 that won the contest. And, you know, it's just a big exciting thing that I'm doing. I'm also glad to have a proper art rewind, because that speed paint I did shouldn't even constitute as an actual YouTube video. So yeah, I plan on doing this again next year, and hopefully it'll be less unorthodox. And if you actually somehow manage to stay around this long, you know what? I owe you a dinner and a movie or something, because you know what? You're my best friend now. So without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching this whole year. Hope you guys enjoyed this whole year, the animations, the customs, the art, the speed paints, the everything. Keep on hugging my sandwiches. I'll see y'all later next year, and peace out.